So I'm just getting ready to hop in the truck. Got about an hour drive from Verdor Lakes campground here to the village, and we're gonna go check out the Highland Village Museum. It's part of the Nova Scotia museum system, and it's run locally by, I believe it's the Highland Village Society. Now, as far as I can tell, it's a recreation of a historic Gaelic village. I'm not sure if there's any significance to the property that it's on or not. So we'll find all that out when we get there. Yeah, let's go. So I'm here at Highland Village. I'm about to start my tour, and it appears that it's kind of an interpretive tour. So the very first building you enter is a old stone building, and it represents Scotland. And basically they explain what living conditions were like and why some of the people left. From there we go into other buildings that represent Nova Scotia, but each building represents a different time period. So we kind of go through, I don't know, a couple hundred years, I guess, from beginning to end in different buildings. So it could be interesting. Now, I'm not going to talk too much through this because each building has character actors and they tell you about things. So hopefully the audio will pick it up. I'm just wearing my mic on my chest, but I'll be able to bump it in post hopefully. And yeah, basically just show you around, and hopefully you'll hear some of the tour as well as see what I see. Okay, here we go. This stone building represents life in Scotland from 1770 to about 1830. Hi.
Welcome into my home here. So we're at Iona, we're on the other side here. So this is the way of life people are leaving behind when they're getting on those ships. Many of them are going over to Nova Scotia. A lot of them are headed for.
Wow.
And other places as well, the whole world.
Yeah.
Some of them are going down the lowlands, Glasgow, and places looking for work. But if you're leaving your home, you might as well go across the ocean to where they're giving land away, they say. So things are changing, certainly.
Interesting.
But a lot of the way of life is the same. We're living where our ancestors always did, and working the land, keeping cattle and sheep. And this time of year, we've got all the animals up at the high grazing, the addies we call it. So,
Okay.
the young women, it's their work to go up and make the butter and the cheese for storing for the rest of the year. I think they enjoy it. And Iona, Halloween will be driving the cattle home, and the year will shift into the dark of the year then.
Cool. That's very interesting. So this is, when did most of them leave Scotland?
Well, it's 1825 now, and people have been leaving for about 30 years, I'd say.
Okay.
More and more.
Oh.
Because things haven't improved in that time.
Yeah.
Rents go up higher and higher, and you get into arrears, and some areas the landlords are evicting people and forcing them to go. And sometimes we're just going because they have no option left here.
Wow.
They sell all their furniture, all their livestock, and they go. And if you have, you know, your brothers or your parents go, you might want to follow after them.
Yeah.
So you see whole families cross, and that draws more people away.
Okay. Thank you. Hello.
How are you?
How are you guys?
Good.
I'm going to get a little bit of your spiel.
Showing her some of the flax
Oh yeah.
processed from all the straw here. That's,
Okay.
yeah.
So this would be
Just
like your general household for about what year?
This
Or what
is
area?
1850.
1850.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is our nice long cabin.
Yeah.
This would be our second one. The first one was quite a lot smaller.
Oh yeah.
We arrived here in 1825,
Okay.
and so we had a dirt floor, smaller logs, no loft.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
Eventually, we were able to get some neighbors to help and build this.
Wow. Very cool.
So it's quite comfortable now.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
It's very neat that you guys do this as well. Like, you know, because it's, I don't know, it's just kind of, it's better than a person in a tour guide shirt telling you about it.
Yes.
I like this. It's neat.
We're trying to do first-person interpretation. Some are better than others.
Yes.
Well, you guys hit me with the Gaelic all the time, and I'm like, whoa, I don't know what that means.
Yeah,
But it's
there's no
neat.
hello or goodbye in Gaelic, so Kimmerashif is just how are you?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Kimerash.
just a greeting.
Interesting. I learned something today. Hopefully a few things. Thank you. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you? Fun little summer job.
It's not bad.
Oh, you got the fireplace.
Of course. Follow your firewood.
Very cool.
House was built in 1829 after the first sawmill came to the community,
Okay.
but it represents 1850. Yeah, like a nice big fireplace. There was a stone quarry near the place that it was built, so we had the access to the stones for the center chimney, and that provided us with a fireplace on either side.
So now is this area, like this hill, is this original? Or is it
So the
just
buildings
a
wouldn't have
recreation?
been on this site,
Yeah,
because at least buildings wouldn't have existed at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But every building except for the first two are original buildings from another place in Cape Breton.
Oh, okay.
This was lived in that time, built when we say it was built. And this house specifically is from Stortdale, close to Waipagama and Nabu. they're
Okay.
Maine. And they were either disassembled and reassembled on the site or taken over on barges.
wow,
So the church
okay.
is from Meligawatch. It was shipped down the lake in 2003 and brought up the hill.
So technically the land is hypothetical,
Yeah.
but the buildings are all historical.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
Except for the first two, because no black houses in Nova Scotia and log cabins by the time they had opened this museum, there was none
Yeah.
left.
Yeah,
They decayed extremely
yeah.
quick.
Yeah.
Even when people were living in them, they were getting repaired every 2 years.
yeah,
But yeah,
cool.
a little nice
Yeah.
genuine touch.
Yeah, I was curious if it was like, you know, an original area kind of thing that was restored, or if it was, but then once I got here and she explained that each building represents kind of a different,
Yeah, it's a different
time
you're-
period
You're
than-
going in time
Yeah.
towards your own time.
yeah,
But yeah, this would have just been a piece of land that was donated.
cool.
Because also, when they first came over, they got 100 acres granted to them. 200 was a married man, so you wouldn't have houses this close together during this era of
No.
time either.
Yeah.
There was way more space, so I don't know if this site's even 100 acres, but you'd have like one house on this much land essentially.
yeah.
But there was people in Iona, of course. This was a
Yeah.
popular area for the Gaels, near the water.
Yeah,
Good land.
Oh, it's beautiful
good
out here.
potatoes.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, that clears it up.
There you go.
Because I was just curious about, you know,
Yeah, of course.
how it worked. But yeah, it's really, really neat. Now the association that you guys, because are you volunteers or are you like
No, we're
paid by the
employees.
parks?
We
Okay.
work here.
Yeah,
It's a provincial museum.
yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay. But then there's an association that,
There's a board, a member, like a board members.
Oh, okay.
That make different decisions and stuff.
Yeah.
That doesn't include anyone on the staff.
oh, okay.
That's a different higher up group.
Yeah.
I think they distribute funding and make decisions on that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But that's not us.
And the big new building, that's going to be kind of like your administration gift
Yes.
shop.
So it's going to be the gift shop. It's going to be offices as well as an archival space and a library.
Oh, nice.
And it's also going to be a new exhibit. So once you hit 925, which is the last building we have here, it's kind of like Gaelic's declining goodbye, which is a bleak note to end on. So it will be an introduction to the start of the hill. So it'll give you tell you about leaving like Scotland, why, what would that feel like, kind of get you in the mindset of what you're getting into here. And then at the end, you'll go back in and you'll get an exhibit on what happened afterwards. What are the Gaels now? What are we doing to preserve it? How are things going? You know, what happened after 1925, essentially.
Cool.
So it's going to be two new exhibits as well as gift shop office spaces.
Nice.
It was happening this morning. It's gigantic.
Yeah.
And it's a stage as well.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and they have plans to have people come in and, you can have like tea and oat cakes after your visit and kind of a wrap up of the whole experience here.
Nice. More exciting things to come.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lots of things coming for sure.
Okay. I'm creating a line, so I'll go.
Have
Thanks.
a good day.
You too.
After.
Appears the carpentry guy might be on lunch. It's a pretty neat little shop. The tools are so rudimentary. Check this out. appears they're doing some repairs to the church. Probably lost some siding to the wind. I've seen that a few times here in Nova Scotia.
Oh, quiet on a show. Would you look at how adorable this is? Oh my goodness.
Nobody can resist the baby socks.
Oh,
Sinead,
Oh, they're so
give it a howl. How are you doing?
Good. So are you guys all fluent in Gaelic?
Yeah. Well,
I'm not.
No?
I can understand so much, but I was as a kid,
wasn't that something, Sandy?
and they took it away from me.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
But in this
interesting.
particular time, everybody is.
Yeah.
Everybody would have to be.
Oh yeah.
I don't too again, no choice.
Not too much English at this point.
But it's starting. They're starting to get it in the schools. You know, it can't learn in Gaelic at all. It has to be English. Some of those teachers, they're Gaelic speakers themselves, and they're awful wicked to those children when they speak
Strap you for speaking the Gaelic.
And what era would this house be?
1890. This house was built in 64. Yeah. So my father, he's got a ship. So he travels a lot, hauling timber. So like that, he's bringing home some things, you know, from away that none of the neighbors have access to. And well, they're building a train bridge down here, so he's figuring he'll have to retire. The transportation's going to be changing then once the railroad goes through.
Oh yeah, there'll be a lot of changes then.
If at the niche, yeah, I guess it
Won't be
won't be
long
long now. They're saying a couple of years and it'll be ready.
No matter how well we pick that yarn, you always get a few twigs in
There's
it left.
always twigs left. in the
Always
wall.
twigs, but it reminds you that this is completely natural. They're talking about this catalogs. This is all the talk is the catalog right now.
Oh, yes, they want to
bringing
get
things
their
from
fancy
away.
things
Yes.
from there.
Some people are saying they actually want to buy just things in the catalog because it shows to other people that they have money. I think it's ridiculous. So,
Oh, good shit. Yeah, there's nothing wrong. I got the dye for these out of the goldenrod.
oh, I know. It makes a lovely colour. I mean, you know, of old, and Jack and me did last week, we dyed with goldenrod. We added a little bit of alum to it.
Caro sin was it Sindai Ken.
About this
Quality keen and
Candy Keenan is Conan Ned Morik Eleven. And we got the most beautiful colour, bright green.
Bright green.
Well, it was yellowish green.
What pot did you put it in?
Just the
cast iron?
cast iron, yeah.
Wasn't the copper?
No, and I was thinking it looks
Sometimes
like it
I'll
was made
mix-
of copper.
Yeah, sometimes I'll mix the, well, you know, the goldenrod with the T-van.
Oh, Shawnish, the pearly everlasting.
Yeah, they're both give you yellow, but you give a stronger one. I haven't tried it in the copper.
No. Well, I think it often gives you a brighter colour, right?
How much?
I'm a good joke.
Kicsinig sé dúcham a mis an fáin amach dé fatas of a choisro a bhí. You're making some shawls in the loom in there and on the loom.
Yeah.
That's neat.
A G, look, there's an in your shit.
It's very cool that you guys do this and that you know Gaelic and all that.
Oh, yeah.
That's really neat.
Yes.
Well, thank you.
Oh, sure, Bennett, blessings with you.
So now we're entering 1880 to 1920. So you heard the lady talk about the train bridge. Things are starting to expand.
Thank you so much. No problem. Have a good day.
Hello. Good. Are you excited to get your schoolhouse back once
Yes, well,
the new building's finished?
yeah, well, I'm excited to see the building down there. It seems like it's gonna all be coming up. So.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, this is a nice little tour. I like it.
Have a good day.
You too. Yeah, quite the collection over here.
Well, it's 1925, you know?
Yeah. So that's
Very easy to acquire things.
yeah.
Yeah, you have the Eaton catalog.
Oh wow.
Railroad went through here 30 years ago. All kinds of stuff available.
It's funny. I think of things in modern terms, like, you know, when the newest iPhone comes out, right? But back then, it took 50 years for something new to come out,
Right, right.
you know?
Yeah.
And then probably another 10 before certain areas even got it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they say we're going to get the electricity in another, geez, 25, 30 years, I guess.
The electricity.
Yeah.
Well, we never got it out at home until 78.
Wow.
There you go. Yeah, late 50s around this area.
Yeah.
But yeah, but you're really in the woods.
Oh yeah, but that's all right.
Isn't that just it? Some of us are lucky.
That's the thing, eh?
What do you mean isolation?
Oh, love it. Yeah.
Celia's got cinnamon rolls up there.
You had to tell me that, Yeah, you know where I'll be going soon.
Yeah, well, that's the idea.
Oh, for sure. Okay. See you later, bud.
What's that?
How do you make that back?
Well, I'll show you. I'll take this one, and then I'll get something that isn't historically accurate. So, don't ignore this. Just pretend it's a knife that the blacksmith made for me.
That blacksmith must have a day off today.
He does. Well, I shouldn't be working either. It's, just go to the service and that's it. So I'll just put this in here, do it like that. Put this one in here. And what I have to do is I gotta do that for all of these ones here.
And then you have to put it up.
Exactly. So once I have them all around, I'll bring them all up, and then just imagine I have them all around, and I'll bring them to the top here, and then I'll tie them all together.
Will this be a tall back?
Yeah, so it's 1825 in here.
18 or 19?
Oh, sorry, yeah, 19.
Long day for you.
Yeah. Just move around to so many different spots.
Oh yeah. So this time period, one of the girls was saying that basically this is kind of like the decline of you guys being able to sustain the Gaelic way of life, so to speak. Like it was just changing.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of so it's a time when people are kind of leaving community. So we've had the train here for 30 years at this point. And a lot of people are have been leaving for Boston or for elsewhere in Canada or for elsewhere in the States, Western States as well. So people are leaving the communities, and yeah, it's also a time where they're coming back home, and some of them letting them don't speak Gaelic anymore, and it's really seen as English is the way forward, the way of progress. So yeah, in school, Gaelic's not allowed to be spoken. Yeah.
Interesting. That's quite the tour. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. And but yeah, this is the decline of Gaelic. It's been a process that's been ongoing for hundreds of years due to outside pressures. Whether it be in Britain itself or in Canada.
Cool. Well, thank you.
Well, Sharon Bay, thank you for your visit.
Well, friends, that concludes my tour of the Highland Village here in Nova Scotia. It's an awesome little museum tour, and it's also free of charge, which I forgot to mention earlier. So if you're ever in the area, stop by, take the tour. If you weren't recording, it would probably take you, I don't know, you could spend a nice hour here, and you're definitely going to learn a few things. The scenery itself is great, and the people here are very friendly and very willing to answer any questions that you have. So definitely give it a stop if you're in the area. All right, I guess I'm going to head off now. There might be a lighthouse after this, I'm not sure. My plan was to check out the Gillis Point Lighthouse after here, so we'll make a run up there and see what happens. All right.